Tonight, we're venturing into the shadows of the Great White North, a country often celebrated for its politeness and stunning landscapes. But beneath this serene surface lies a darker history, one populated by figures who defy the nation's peaceful reputation. We're exploring the chilling stories of Canada's most notorious serial killers. Our journey begins with one of the most infamous names in Canadian true crime, Robert Pickton. From the outside, the Pickton family pig farm in Port Coquitlam, British Columbia, was just a ramshackle property. But inside its muddy grounds and dilapidated buildings, a horrific reality unfolded. For years, women, many of them vulnerable and from Vancouver's downtown east side, disappeared without a trace. Rumors swirled, but it wasn't until 2002 that the horrifying truth began to emerge. A search of the farm uncovered the remains and DNA of numerous missing women. The scale of the horror was staggering. Pickton would later boast to an undercover officer of killing 49 women. He was eventually convicted of 6 counts of second-degree murder, but the true number of his victims remains a haunting question mark, a symbol of a tragedy that was ignored for far too long. Next, we turn to a case that shattered the illusion of safety in small-town Ontario, Russell Williams. Here was a man who seemed to have it all. He was a decorated colonel in the Canadian Armed Forces, the commander of Canada's largest Air Force base in Trenton. He was respected, married, and a pillar of his community. But behind this mask of authority hid a meticulous and depraved predator. His crimes began with a series of burglaries, specifically targeting women's homes to steal lingerie. This escalated into 2 brutal home invasion sexual assaults, and then, horrifically, to the murders of 2 women. Corporal Marie-France Comeau and Jessica Lloyd. Williams documented his crimes with thousands of photographs and videos. His arrest in 2010 sent shockwaves across the country. The man tasked with leading and protecting others was, in fact, a monster hiding in plain sight. The evidence was so overwhelming that he confessed, leaving a nation to grapple with how such evil could flourish in a position of such immense trust. Now, let's travel back to the 1980s, to the province of Saskatchewan, and the chilling case of a man known as the Saskatoon Strangler, David Thrynen. At the time, Saskatoon was experiencing a wave of fear as several young boys and men went missing. Their bodies were later found discarded in remote areas outside the city. The community was on edge, and police were facing immense pressure to find the person responsible. The perpetrator was David Thrynen, a man who used his friendly demeanor to lure his victims into his vehicle before committing his terrible acts. His reign of terror was short but devastating, preying on the innocence of youth. Thrynen was eventually arrested after one of his intended victims managed to escape and identify him to police. His case left a deep scar on the Prairie Province, a reminder that even in close-knit communities, danger can lurk where you least expect it. Perhaps one of the most terrifying stories is that of the Ken and Barbie killers, Paul Bernardo and Carla Homolka. In the late 1980s and early 1990s, this outwardly attractive and charismatic young couple seemed to be living a fairy tale life. But their private world was a landscape of unimaginable cruelty. Their crimes included the drugging and assault of numerous young women, including Carla's own younger sister, Tammy Homolka, whose death was initially ruled an accident. Their depravity culminated in the abduction, torture, and murder of 2 teenage schoolgirls, Leslie Mahaffey and Kristen French. The nation watched in horror as the details of their crimes were revealed. The case became even more controversial when Carla Homolka struck a plea deal with prosecutors. Dubbed the deal with the devil in exchange for her testimony against Bernardo, she served a reduced sentence while Bernardo was declared a dangerous offender and remains imprisoned. The case remains one of the most disturbing in Canadian history, a stark example of shared psychosis and the terrifying capacity for evil hidden behind a perfect facade. Our final case takes us to London, Ontario. During the 1960s and 70s, a period when the city was gripped by fear, A series of unsolved killings of children led to London being grimly nicknamed the serial killer capital of Canada. While several killers were active during this era, one of the most prominent was Gerald Thomas Archer, a seemingly ordinary family man who worked as a school caretaker. Archer targeted young children, using his position of trust to get close to them. He was eventually convicted for the murder of 2 young girls, but police have long suspected him of being responsible for more unsolved cases from that dark period in the city's history. This era highlights a chilling phenomenon where multiple unconnected predators can operate in the same area, creating a climate of pervasive terror and leaving behind a legacy of unanswered questions and grieving families that persists to this day. From the pig farm of horrors in BC to the decorated colonel's secret life in Ontario, these stories reveal a disturbing truth. Canada, despite its peaceful image, is not immune to the darkest aspects of human nature. These cases force the nation to confront its vulnerabilities, question its justice system, and mourn the lives that were senselessly stolen. They serve as a solemn reminder that evil can wear any mask and reside in any community. Thank you for joining us on this difficult but important exploration of Canadian true crime. If you found this video informative, please give it a like and subscribe for more deep dives into complex cases. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next upload. Stay safe, and we'll see you in the next video.